Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium, the site for tonight's matchup between the Roseburg Indians and the Grants Pass Cavemen. It's senior night tonight for the Roseburg boys as they finally get a chance to take the floor after multiple days of postponements due to snowy weather in the Umpqua Basin and south of us. This one finally gets on the schedule. It's been an interesting week, to say the least, and tonight we look forward to a fun one out on the floor for Roseburg and Grants Pass. We're getting ready for senior night tonight. We'll be celebrating 7 seniors as we count down to tip off for this one. We are just moments away from that. They've got the clock started. JV running just a hair long as the Grants Pass JV team comes back to win 68-64 on top of Roseburg here tonight. But as we get ready for tonight's matchup, we'll get a chance to catch up with head coach Jordan Humphreys to talk more about tonight's matchup and about this year's senior class. We'll also run through this year's senior class and give you a little bit of a blurb on each of them as we get ready for tonight's tip-off. Final game here at home this regular season for the Roseburg boys. A couple of wins to finish out the regular season could secure another home game in the postseason. We'll be looking forward to how this one plays out tonight, and we'll definitely cover what's on the line tonight for the Roseburg boys as they welcome in the Grants Pass Cavemen. Good evening, everybody. I'm Joey Kieran. Great to be back on the airwaves with you after a little bit of a delay. We were supposed to be on Tuesday night here at home, but that was snowed out. Then Wednesday got snowed out. Now, finally to Thursday, and it was a little bit of a question mark at times throughout the day. Snow starting to come down, but Grants Pass able to make their trek up here. The Roseburg girls able to make the trek down to Grants Pass, and everybody's happy. We're going to get this one underway here tonight. When we come back, we'll get a chance to catch up with Coach Humphreys. Before we take a break, want to remind you tonight's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com. You can watch it there for free, or you can check the broadcast out on our YouTube channel. Search 1490 The Score on YouTube and follow the action with us there. Hit the subscribe button to follow Roseburg High Sports throughout the school year with us, The Score. All right, we'll go ahead and take the 2-minute timeout. When we come back, it's time to check in with head coach Jordan Humphreys as we get ready for Roseburg boys basketball. Coming at you tonight online at 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers. Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back with more of our pregame here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Streaming with video online at 541radio.com. It's the final home game of the regular season for the Roseburg boys, and it's finally here after a couple of days of postponements. Roseburg gets a chance to welcome in Grants Pass for senior night, and joining us is head coach Jordan Humphreys. Coach, the delay, we talked about this last week. You guys had to wait on getting to play at North Medford but 2 weeks in a row you guys have gone through this, and this week I know was a big one with senior night coming up, final home game in the regular season, and of course a big one against Grants Pass. The guys starting to scratch at the walls, get a little anxious for this one to finally get going?
They've definitely been anxious and they're ready to go. They know what's riding on it, and they're focused, and obviously senior night's big, and they're excited to play in front of our home fans. And I know at the beginning of the season we weren't playing well at home, and now we're finally playing well at home. So I think they're definitely locked in and ready to go.
You guys get a chance to take on Grants Pass, and I was kind of looking back in the books here. Obviously, the last one down there was a tight one. The one before that down there was a tight one as well. This team you guys play pretty close with as you get ready for this matchup. What are you guys kind of thinking about this matchup? What kind of things are you guys looking to try and maybe take away from the first meeting that hopefully makes this a little bit more comfortable for you here tonight?
Well, obviously playing at home helps.
Yeah.
And I think down there, it was a low-scoring game. They're probably one of the better defensive teams in the league, and they try to slow it down a little bit and not let us get into what we were doing, and we're trying to do the opposite. And last game against South Eugene, we did a better job of getting back on track of playing our pace. Was the two before that with Willamette and North Medford. We struggled with that, so hopefully we can carry over what we did against South Eugene to here tonight.
Yeah. You kind of look at it, it's kind of interesting. You guys are a little bit mirror the way that things have gone this league season for you team. They struggled the first half through, but have gotten hot here in the second half of league play. You guys were great coming out of the gates, and it's been a bit of a struggle here the last couple of weeks, but looking to get back on track like you said. With these games kind of starting to really feel the intensity pick up, is it starting to feel like the guys are locking in that this is maybe a bit of a playoff atmosphere?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, the closer you get, then the more you start thinking about it, and they start asking questions about what this game means. I wish they would do that every game. If we would have gone back and done that versus South Eugene and Willamette, then maybe we would have ended up with those games and victories, and we wouldn't be in a four-way tie for second place, depending on what happens in these next two games. But yeah, they definitely are focused on that postseason play and the implications for every game.
Yeah. You understand all the tiebreakers right now?
I do, yeah.
Okay, well.
It took a long time to figure out, seeing as how it could possibly end up in a four-way tie.
Very well could happen that way. So.
Yeah, so do you want me to inform you and everybody?
We'll cover that probably at a slightly different time. We won't take up all our time breaking that down, and we'll see how things work out tonight and where that leaves us going forward. But you talk about just the fact that playoffs are looming, and the guys are starting to maybe get that, but also you start to kind of sense a little bit of a finality in the fact that the season will be coming to an end at some point here in the next few weeks, and that means some seniors are going to be saying goodbye to the program. Tonight you guys will get a chance to celebrate 7 seniors on the roster. We'll be going through that list here momentarily, but just real quick, your thoughts on this year's senior group?
Not just the senior group, but the senior group's parents and families have been supportive since day one that I walked into the program, and they embraced me and have really made me feel welcome as a coach. You always hear horror stories of parents and fans that ride the coach out of town, and that definitely hasn't happened here. Not just this year's, but last year's seniors, and I think we have a pretty solid parent group in our community that are supportive of coaches, and I've felt that for the last 4 years, and obviously spent a lot of time with these guys since they were freshmen with early morning workouts and summer workouts, and they're definitely going to be a group that's going to be hard to replace, especially with how many of them there are, and they buy into their roles, and they've done everything I've asked as far as hard work and a lot of the little stuff off the court as far as building the culture and having expectations of how they act in the classroom, and being involved in community service opportunities, and just being good people and growing into great young men. And I look forward to seeing how they progress after high school. I get the opportunity to help them with some scholarship stuff, and I write a recommendation for them, and so it's kind of fun to see see what they're choosing to do with their lives after high school, and hopefully I've been able to be a part of helping shape them in a little bit, and look forward to finding success in what they do off the court as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's always kind of the fun part is seeing what these young men become once they leave the program and become adults. Coach Humphreys, thanks so much for the time here, and we look forward to seeing it out there on the floor tonight.
Thanks, Joey.
That is head coach of the Roseburg boys basketball team, Jordan Humphreys, joining us here in the pregame show. We are counting down to tip off to tonight's matchup between Roseburg and Grants Pass. Here momentarily, we will run through the 7 seniors on this team for the Roseburg boys. We'll be along with public address announcer Tom Nelson. We will run through the seniors here coming up and a little blurb about each of them. That'll be coming here in just under 4 minutes from now, when they will pause to make that happen before tonight's tip-off. So while we've got a little bit of time, let's go ahead and take a look at tonight's matchup and where these two teams have been. For the Roseburg boys, they are coming off of a win over South Eugene last week. That was back on Friday night when Roseburg was here at home, pulling away for the 88-71 victory. Roseburg scored 20-plus points in every quarter. It was a pretty impressive night there for the offense, one of their higher scoring evenings at 88 points. RHS led by 10-plus for much of the game after the first quarter, and they were able to kind of build a comfortable margin, but then South Eugene cut the score down to 73-69, a 4-point game with about 3 minutes left to play in the contest, but Roseburg would turn it on, and they finished on a 15-2 run to close out the game. And if you were joining us for that one, you obviously will remember the highlight of that night was a junior on this Roseburg team. Micah Mendoza sets a school record with 48 points in the win. He had an opportunity, a couple of buckets that didn't fall, had a couple of chances to maybe get himself to 50, but he comes up just a little short of that. Nonetheless, he has the most points ever scored in a basketball game for a Roseburg boys basketball player. He surpasses Colin Warmouth, who set the new school record of 43 back in 2019 during a playoff game at Tigard. And Colin had passed former Roseburg standout and former Roseburg coach Mike Pardon, who had had a school record of 42 for a number of years prior to Colin breaking that record there in 2019. So 2019, 2023, it's been just 4 years, and we've had 2 school records for points scored in a single game. Congratulations to Micah. Definitely a very impressive feat for him, and hopefully just kind of something he can build on for the future, as he'll have his senior year and the rest of this junior season still to go. Roseburg in that game hit 7 threes against South Eugene. They were 11-17 at the free throw line. It also snapped a 3-game losing streak for Roseburg with that win. On the other side for Grants Pass, they're coming off of a 58-37 win in their last game. They made up for a 44-30 loss at Sheldon back in January as they got the win on their home floor in their senior night. It was a 6-point game during the third quarter, but Grants Pass finished on a 20-5 run to take down the Irish at home there at Heater Newman Gymnasium. Grants Pass goes 1-1 against Sheldon on the season. Taking a look at the standings in the Southwest Conference, South Medford has clinched the Southwest Conference title with an 11-0 record. They are ranked number 7 in the OSA Power Rankings. Grants Pass sits in second place right now. And Grants Pass in second place at 6-5. They are ranked number 17 by the OSAA Power Ranking. Roseburg at 5-5. Still 2 league games left to play, including this one. They are number 18 in the Power Rankings. And if they can win their final 2 games, they would clinch a number 2 spot in the standings and hopefully would work their way into the top 16 in the Power Rankings to be able to get a home playoff game. Then you've got Sheldon and North Medford tied at 5-6. Sheldon right now number 27 in the Power Rankings, and North Medford at number 35. If Roseburg were to win and lose, actually, yeah, there's a way that you could have Grants Pass, Roseburg, Sheldon, and North Medford all finish at 6-6 in conference play. It's possible. Let's hope we don't get to that tiebreaker scenario there. South Eugene at number 33 in the power rankings at 3-8 in conference play, and then Willamette at number 37 at 3-8 in conference play as well. So that's a look at the standings. We'll talk more about that. We'll have some time here after we honor tonight's seniors for Roseburg. We'll have the seniors coming out here. There are 7 on this year's team. They have all been with head coach Jordan Humphreys since their freshman year. Coach Humphreys out there to get a chance to greet the seniors and send them off here before this one tonight. The first senior acknowledged this evening is Mark Oha. Mark has been playing basketball as long as he can remember, according to his little bio here. He'll come out to meet up with head coach Jordan Humphreys. If you're watching online at 541radio.com, you can see the festivities for senior night here at Stuart W. Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. After graduation, Mark is excited to take advantage of all the opportunities that life brings and experience, both the good and bad of the world. He's joined by his parents, Chris and Maricel Lobeck, joining him here tonight. He's the quickest guy on the court. That is number 1 in your roster, Mark Oha. Up next is Carter Stedman, one of the captains on this year's team. He's played basketball since kindergarten, and he's been able to do it with his best friend, another senior on the team, Hunter Fullerton. Carter Stedman is looking forward to running track at the college level. He's done cross country, basketball, and they'll be doing track coming up this spring here at Roseburg. So looking forward to great things. Carter also interning with us here at the radio station throughout the fall season. He's met out there with his parents, Jason and Tatum Stedman, along with his younger brother, McLean Stedman, who's on the freshman team. Had a big game earlier this season. He'll get a chance to snap some photos with the student section cheering him on. That is Carter Stedman, another senior for Roseburg. Jace Wilder has been playing his favorite sport for over 13 years. We've seen Jace play multiple sports throughout his time here at Roseburg High School. Was out on the football field this fall. I believe also used to be a baseball player, but his favorite is basketball. After graduation, he is most excited to travel to different countries. He's joined tonight by his father, Troy Wilder, out there on the floor. That is Jace Wilder for Roseburg. Big moment there. You can see the emotions, and that's what senior night's about. It is a chance to really acknowledge and kind of just understand that there's been a special time in your life, and that's a lot of fun. Up next, it's Trey Finlayson, another senior for this Roseburg team, playing basketball for 7 years. He's most excited for seeking out fun and adventure after graduation. He's joined by his dad, Steve Finlayson. That is the senior muscle man, Trey Finlayson, getting acknowledged here tonight, along with his father out there on the floor. And Trey has been a lot of fun to watch in his time. Getting a chance to see him at the varsity level for the first time this year, coming off of a career-high 5 points in his last game. All right, up next is Keegan Cleary. Keegan is the 5th senior on this roster that we will acknowledge. He's played the game since third grade. He's looking forward to getting some traveling in after graduation. He is joined tonight by his parents, Robbie and Alicia Cleary. It is Keegan Cleary, another senior honored tonight here on senior night for the Roseburg boys. Get some hugs there from his parents. He's got the balloons. It's been quite the festivity tonight. There is all sorts of decorations and accoutrements here tonight. Up next, it's Boston Williams. Been balling since 5th grade. He's excited to see how these lessons that he's learned throughout sports in high school and just his time in high school will translate to success as he gains more independence post-graduation. Oh, boy, we'll be excited to see where things are going to be taking off for him. He is joined by his mom, Miranda Mandera, and his sister, Navia Williams. It is Boston Williams honored tonight here at Roseburg High School. And our final senior to get acknowledged here this evening before we wrap this one up and then count down the final 3 minutes before we tip this one off between Roseburg and Grants Pass. It is Hunter Fullerton. Been hooping since kindergarten. Hunter plans after graduation. He's most excited to make new lasting memories with friends who will be headed off to college in the fall. Tonight he will be joined by his parents, Matt and Heather Fullerton, along with his brother Ryan Fullerton. It is Hunter Fullerton, the 7th senior on this year's roster for the Roseburg boys. It's been a great senior class. They call him the three-point slinging senior, Hunter Fullerton. It's been a great senior class this year, 7 of them total. That's always great to see large numbers in your senior class, but it does always leave you concerned, wondering who will step up to fill those roles once those young men graduate from the program. But the work they've done over the last 4 years as members of this program with head coach Jordan Humphreys took over 4 years ago. These guys have grown from freshmen all the way to their senior year with Coach Humphreys, and this year has been the best year under Coach Humphreys, and these seniors have been a big part of it, helping lead this team to a 15-7 record.
First for the visiting Grants Pass, Cavemen.
Tom Nelson's jumping the gun here. They got 3 minutes of warm-up time here. These seniors, 7 of them, have been a big part of this 15-7 record. And despite the fact that, you know, Roseburg still got 2 games left, they haven't officially clinched an automatic berth in the postseason. This team pretty much is going to the playoffs for a second consecutive year, and it's been a while since we could say that Roseburg basketball has been in the postseason in consecutive seasons. And this senior class is a big reason why they are going to be in a prime spot to be able to make it back to the playoffs here this year. And they almost, it's not out of the picture that they could host a first-round playoff matchup coming up next week. That'll definitely be something to watch tonight and tomorrow. The rankings will officially freeze on Saturday, and that's when we'll know what Roseburg's first-round playoff matchup will be. And at number 18 in the power rankings, seems to be far-fetched to think that they would drop out of the top 32. You got to be in the top 32 to give yourself a chance at getting into the playoffs. So Roseburg feels comfortable there, but they'd like to be top 16 and be able to host a first-round game coming up. A win tonight against Grants Pass would be big. So to Mark Oha, Carter Stedman, Jace Wilder, Trey Finlayson, Keegan Cleary, Boston Williams, and Hunter Fullerton, congratulations on the success you've seen so far. Best of luck tonight, and best of luck in your futures post-graduation from Roseburg High School. Before we take our final break for the national anthem, we will run down the last meeting between these two teams because it's definitely noteworthy. If you were tuned in for the interview with head coach Jordan Humphreys, I brought it up that the last 2 games that these two teams have played, they've been decided by a total of 4 points. Down at Grants Pass earlier this year on January 24th, Roseburg won 57-56. Grants Pass led by 14 late in the third quarter, but RHS finished on a 19-4 run, started by a buzzer-beating 3 by Mark Oha at the end of the third quarter. Jace Wilder would go on to make the game-winning lay-in with 54 seconds left to go in the game. Grants Pass had a chance to try and tie or take the lead in that final minute of the game. There was still time to go, but they could not cash it in. They missed 4 field goal attempts and a couple of free throws down the stretch that could have put them back in front. They just could not pull it out. And Roseburg escaped Grants Pass with the victory. A win tonight would make head coach Jordan Humphreys 4-4 on in his career against Grants Pass, leading Roseburg. So we'll see if they can get that tonight. More importantly, a win tonight would move Roseburg into second place in the conference standings. And then they would be one more win away from securing that. Grants Pass, a win tonight for them, would clinch them second place in the Far West League standings. This is the regular season finale for the Cavemen. All right, we'll take the 2-minute timeout. When we come back, it's time for tip-off here tonight from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. This is Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Mountain Mike's. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
The junior, number 24.
Welcome you back here to Roseburg High School, where tonight Roseburg will take on the Grants Pass Cavemen in the final home game of the regular season for the Roseburg boys. Final game of the regular season for Grants Pass. Let's take a look at their starting five for tonight. Led by head coach Joel Jesse, 15-8 on the season, 6-5 in conference play. Your starting five for the Cavers: Gavin McLean, a junior at 6'2", will start tonight, coming off of a 14-point game in the win over Sheldon. Mason Bennett, an all-conference selection, the senior averaging 12.5, will start tonight, along with Cade Brandis, another senior for this Grants Pass team. Luke Morgan, a 6'4" junior all-conference selection, starts tonight. And then Jaden Jesse, a junior, the son of head coach Joel Jesse, getting the start as well. On the other side for head coach Jordan Humphreys in his fourth year with the program, 15-7 on the year, 5-5 in conference play for the Roseburg boys. Your starting lineup will look very similar to what you're used to. Micah Mendoza, the second-team All-Southwest Conference player, averaging 20.7 points per game. The junior, 6'3", will get the start tonight. Carter Stedman averaging 4.5 a game, a senior guard at 5'9". Jace Wilder, a senior guard, 6'2", averaging 6.3 a game, starts tonight. Along with Boston Williams, a returning all-conference selection, a senior guard at 5'11", averaging 8.5 points. And then Hunter Fullerton, your senior guard at 6 feet tall, averaging 11.4 points per game. That is your starting five for the Roseburg boys. All right, we get ready to go for tonight's matchup. Roseburg will be in white. The Grants Pass Cavers will be in blue. Grants Pass will be going right to left on your radio dial to start this one out. Roseburg going left to right. As we get ready to go, it'll be Mason Bennett and Micah Mendoza in the center circle to jump this one. Couple of big-time jumpers out there, some leapers. Seen some pretty highlight dunks from Mason Bennett this season, and Micah Mendoza, we know he can throw him down as well. All right, we get ready for the tip-off. The ball is in the air. Both players whiff at it to start, and it is then tipped by Mendoza into the backcourt to Stedman. Stedman will drive right side, hands it off to Williams, back out to Carter. Carter holds out on the right side of the floor, will drift back out to the top. Initiates right side to Mendoza. He'll take a deep three from straight away off the front of the iron. No, rebound underneath by Grants Pass, and they'll bring it the other direction. Bennett on the left side, going to drive baseline, lost the handle, just pounded it too hard on the dribble, and he turns it back over to Roseburg. Stedman will bring it through the center circle as Roseburg looks to score first. Hands off, Boston Williams on the right wing, wants to drive through some defensive pressure. Into the corner to Fullerton, gets bumped baseline, and Grants Pass will be whistled for their first foul of the ball game tonight. That one goes against Cade Brandis, the senior. He scored 3 points against Roseburg in the first meeting between the two teams. Fullerton into the corner to Wilder, back out to Mendoza. Into the corner, head fake, Fullerton drives to the free throw line from the left elbow. The pull-up jumper, no. Underneath, it's all Cavemen, and it's Grants Pass down with the basketball. They'll bring it up on the near side, out to the top, into the far side now for Brandis. Jesse gets it between the circles, lobs to Morgan in the middle. Got Wilder in the air, and Morgan will float it through to put Grants Pass up 2-0. Early going here, 6:52 to play. Fullerton on the right side, lobs it to Wilder. Into the middle to Stedman. That pass tipped away, and Grants Pass with the steal up the floor to Bennett. Bennett into the chest of Hunter Fullerton, who draws the charge. And Mason Bennett will pick up his first. And on this side, Joel Jesse, the head coach for Grants Pass, can't believe that the foul was called. Fullerton stepping in front, planting his feet as Bennett was going airborne. Jesse still looking for an explanation from the officials. Stedman walks it across the timeline on the far side of the floor. Looks for a screen from Wilder. Doesn't help much. Handed off to Mendoza. Kick ball out of bounds on the far side by Bennett. Zone defense here early from Grants Pass. Their defense holding teams to 45.6 points per game. Last meeting, a lower scoring game for Roseburg at 57 points. Stedman will hold out at the top. Bounce it, ball kicked again by Grants Pass. This time it's Jesse that will knock it away. Inbound from the near sideline for Jace Wilder. Gets it to Stedman. Out at the top, they try to collapse on him, lobs it across the floor. Williams in the corner, trapped out to Stedman. He'll take the straightaway three. That one left iron, no, underneath. They push, and it's going to be Roseburg basketball underneath, and Cade Brandis can't believe the call. Last time the two teams met, it was a heated, chippy ball game. And already here early on, 3 fouls against Grants Pass. None against Roseburg. Catch and shoot on the three from just left of the key. And it is Hunter Fullerton to put Roseburg on the board for the first time tonight. 3-2, Roseburg in front. Across the timeline, Jesse gets it to McLean, and they work it to the far side of the floor. In the corner, Brandis back out to the top for Jesse. Left side, weaving through the defense, McLean. Fadeaway jumper off the mark, and the rebound down to Micah Mendoza. Mendoza will work it up the floor. He'll take it to the left elbow into the corner. Wide open look for Boston Williams. Can't leave him that wide open. He hits, and Roseburg's on top, 6-2. Pressure in the backcourt after the make by Roseburg. Grants Pass will break it. Lob to the top by McLean, and Brandis gets it away. They work to the middle for Morgan, and weak side help. Mendoza nearly stole it away. Getting loose underneath is Jesse, and Jaden Jesse lays it in for his first points of the night. 6-4. 5:04 to go here in the first quarter. Stedman calling out the play as Coach Humphreys hollers from the scorer's table. Deep three by by Fullerton, no. And underneath, Brandis with the rebound. He'll push it up the floor. Nearly traveled. Gets it to Bennett, who almost lost it. To Morgan, into the corner. McLean, a three. Little off the front of the iron. Rebound tipped around. Stedman's going to come up with it. Diving for it was Morgan, and he could not take it away from Stedman. Roseburg will keep the possession into the front court, nearing the midway point here in the first quarter. Williams, head fake, goes right side, one-hand pass. Fullerton lost the handle. It does make its way to Stedman underneath. He wants to back his way in. Lobs out. Shooters around the perimeter. It's Boston Williams. That one spins out underneath. Jesse loses the handle but gets it back. 4:13 to play. Still a low scoring, 6-4. Up the floor to Jesse, lobs to Bennett, but he wasn't ready for it, and stepping in front was Hunter Fullerton. Baseline cutter, Mendoza underneath, got bumped, got his own rebound, goes back up and gets hit the second time. Micah Mendoza will head to the free throw line. Big crowd here tonight. Grants Pass showing up despite the poor winter weather. The fans traveling north from the Rogue Valley and making their way here to Roseburg High School. The Roseburg fans on senior night showing up in a big way. No band here tonight, though, which is always a disappointment. We love it when the band is here. Officials were at the scorer's table talking, and now in a conversation out on the floor from our crew here tonight. So I think they're trying to figure out who the foul is on. Well, they're going to finally give it to Mendoza to shoot, and he will hit the first. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on the score. Second free throw for Micah Mendoza. Rattles off, no good. And the basketball down to Grants Pass. Up the floor quickly for Peyton Bruner. And he couldn't hang on to it. Bruner dribbles it out of bounds. Heard that he was a bit of a question mark with a possible finger injury. Looks like he will be playing tonight. 7-4 your score here with 3:45 to go in the opening period. Mark Oha into the game. Senior for Roseburg. Hands it off to Mendoza. Drives right side. Gets hit.
Foul number 0.
And that one goes on Ivan Isley, who has checked into the ball game.
Ivan Isley, the line to shoot 2.
Non-shooter here for Roseburg. So you've got Oha, Finlayson, Fullerton, Williams, and Mendoza on the floor, and they'll change it to a shooting foul.
Micah Mendoza.
So he was going up, and the officials say he was in the act of shooting. Mendoza will get the first, as he now has 2 points at the free throw line. Second free throw is good for the lefty. 3 of 4 at the stripe to start out the night. Pressure in the backcourt for Roseburg. Up the floor to McLean. Looks for the cutter up the floor. Isley gets it, makes the extra pass, and a bump by Oha underneath the basket. That was Bruner who got it on the right black. Oha got a little aggressive trying to get there to cover and help out after that pass through the lane, and a little too much force. Bennett will get it out at the top. Pass left side to Bruner. Bruner looking for Bennett, gets it underneath to Finlayson. Spin move off the glass, and Mason Bennett banks it through for his first points. 3-point ball game, 9-6. 3:18 to go. Boston Williams between the circles, lob to the near side to Fullerton. Into the middle, Oha, fake a pass, back out to Boston. Try to work against this zone. Out at the top, back to Fullerton for a 3. Had an open look, long rebound, and Finlayson saves it back in. It goes to Mendoza, who gets called for the offensive. That will be the first on Micah Mendoza. Excuse me there. Got a little too aggressive trying to attack the rim. And right into the chest of the defense from Grants Pass. Bennett with it in the backcourt. They work the press, break, up the floor to Brandis, playing with his 2 fouls, I believe. Bruner cuts through the lane, back out to McLean. Underhand pass out to the right side. Isley, a couple of spins. Now into the corner. Brandis underneath. They get it to Bruner. Underhand pass back to Brandis. Back iron, no, underneath. 2 Grants Pass players fighting for it. Neither can pull it in. Bennett will get it. And a third look for Grants Pass. And it's Mason Bennett that'll have a chance to go to the line for the 3-point play. 2:28 to go here in the first. 9-8 your score, and Bennett looking to tie it up.
for Mason Bennett. Line shoot one.
Into the game will come Jackson Poland wearing his face mask. We saw him wearing that the last time we saw Grants pass. Peyton Bruner will check out of the game. Bennett's free throw, no underneath. It's Finlayson with the rebound. Finlayson races it up into the front court. Oha in the right corner, drives in, pass out to Asher Friedenberg into the game for the first time tonight. Boston Williams tries to drive, got to the right elbow, and they call an offensive on Boston. Extends the off arm to get some clearance, and they whistle him for the extension. 2:13 to play, back into the hands of the Cavemen. Boston Williams will get a breather as Owen Bentia checks in. Only starter on the floor for Roseburg right now is Micah Mendoza. Mason Bennett up the floor, weaving back and forth. They work it to the far side. Beyond the perimeter, Isley looking to Bennett at the right elbow against Finlayson. He drives and scores. 6 in the period for Mason Bennett, and back in front goes Grants pass. 10-9, a minute 53. Mendoza gets it on the left side. Takes it to the top. Makes the pass right side into the corner for Bentia. Back out. Oha will drift it back out, and the Roseburg offense will reset down to a minute 38. Mendoza bounce it away. Oha brings it right side. Things opened up. He'll kick into the corner for Bentia. He's way long on the three, and it's Grants pass with a chance to extend it to their largest lead of the game. Into the middle to Bennett. Looks to attack against Finlayson. Puts it up. No. Rebound tipped out. Grants pass, another look. In the far corner, out to McLean. Near side, a three. Isley off the mark. Rebound, Mendoza. He'll force it up the floor, trying to attack quickly. Goes left side. Got blocked by McLean and tipped out by Grants pass. Carter Stedman will come in for Mark Oha. Jace Wilder will check into the game as well. Jaden Jesse comes in for Grants pass, and so does Peyton Bruner. Finlayson also heading to the bench for Roseburg. So you've got Stedman, Wilder, Asher, Friedenberg, Bentia, and Mendoza on the floor. Toss out to the top, into the backcourt. I don't think he needed to save it, but Mendoza tried to do it anyways, and he turns it back over to Grants pass. 1 minute to go here in the first period. Grants pass leading 10-9. Right side for Bruner. Goes with the drive into the middle, throws it off the back of the iron, and Peyton Bruner will get his first points of the night. 12-9. Roseburg draws it out. Down to 39 seconds to go. They can try and hold for the final shot. Jace Wilder has it on the near side to the top, into the middle. Mendoza into the corner. Friedenberg a three to tie it. No. Tip up, Mendoza, he'll fight for the rebound. He gets it, will go up with it, and Micah gets his first field goal of the night. Makes it a 1-point game, 12-11, 16 seconds to play. Jesse brings it up, and caught reaching is Micah Mendoza. He'll pick up his second here in the first quarter. Hunter Fullerton will come in for Micah Mendoza, who'll get a breather and might spend a little bit of time on the bench with his 2 fouls early. McLean will fire into the corner, driving from the left block, turnaround, Bruner buries it. 5 seconds to go, 14-11. Wilder a three at the horn from half court, no. And as we go to the end of one, it is Grants pass 14, Roseburg 11. Back after a 60-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Again, a silver.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event, plus you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel, Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Start the second quarter. Tonight's basketball game brought to you by our friends at Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, and by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. 14-11, the score after one. Leading scorer for Grants Pass, Mason Bennett with 6. For Roseburg, it's Micah Mendoza with 5. Grants Pass will have the basketball to start things off. Look for the cutter. It's taken away by Fullerton. Steal by the Indians. Fullerton brings it up on the right side, out to Stedman at the top. Directing traffic, the senior pounds it right side, bounces, finds Fullerton open underneath, then Hunter will get free and lays it high off the glass for 2 to get Roseburg back within 1. 5 in the game now for Hunter Fullerton. Pass left side. Jesse looks it across the floor. Poland drives to the free throw line, back out to Jesse. He'll go to the free throw line, spin move back to his left, throws it up. No, rebound tipped around. Jesse gets it. And rebounding has been big so far for Grants Pass. A 3 by Poland, no, and it's Wilder with the board. Fullerton brings it up, a chance to give Roseburg the lead back. Drives to the free throw line, step back, didn't pull the trigger. Bentia on the right side. Poland had a hand in there. He'll get whistled for the reach-in.
Grants Pass foul number 14.
That'll be the 6th on Grants Pass.
Jackson Poland.
6:58 to go here in this one. Wilder inbounds it into Stedman in the right corner. Brings it out to the wing, draws out, working against Bennett. They've got the size mismatch. No, underneath. It's taken away by Jesse. Up the floor to Bennett. Lob to the rim. Bruner back to Brandis. Little floater right in front of the hoop for 2. And Cade Brandis makes it a 3-point game. Largest lead of the game for Grants Pass at 3. 6.5 to go here in the first half. Out at the center circle. Stedman, right-hand dribble. Pounding it away at the top. Dribbles left side. Bentia splits the defense into the corner for Williams. Knocked out of his hand, stays with the Indians. Roseburg basketball tonight on the score brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Roseburg's led by as many as 4. Grants Pass on top by 3 right now. Around a screen, Williams to the free throw line, back out to Stedman. Looks left side, will hand it off to Fullerton beyond the perimeter. Looks to the top, crossover, left hand, tries to split the defense, got airborne, draws 2 defenders, and it looked like they were signaling Bennett on the foul. It is Mason Bennett, so the leading scorers for both teams now with 2 fouls in this one.
Mason Bennett.
Right now, Micah Mendoza on the bench with his 2 fouls for Roseburg, and Mason Bennett will head to the bench with his 2 fouls. Into the game will come Gavin McLean. Hunter Fullerton goes to the free throw line, looking to add to his 5 points in this one so far. He will hit the front end of a 1-and-1. So Roseburg into the bonus as Grants Pass is over the limit. Tonight's game also brought to you by Abby's Legendary Pizza, a legendary pizza tradition. Second free throw a little long, rebound underneath by the Cavemen. So 16-14 your score, 2-point ball game. Grants Pass in front here in the second quarter. Left side, Poland out to the top. Bruner to Brandis into the corner, back out to the top. McLean lean left, goes right, back out to the top with the one-hand pass. Driving left side, Poland attacks with the left hand, no. Bentia with the board. Owen Bentia gets it up to Stedman as Roseburg pushing the tempo. Back out to Stedman. Goes left side, spin move, scoop shot gets swatted out of bounds. As Jaden Jesse reading that one correctly, able to recover with his long arms and got a swat on that one. Stays with Roseburg though, 5:27 to go in the second. Inbound to Wilder, looks out to Bentia, bobbled a bit, but he keeps it on the right wing, drives right hand, Out to Stedman at the top. Boston Williams on the right wing, looking underneath to Wilder. Left hand, step back, gets it to Wilder in the corner, tipped out of his hands. It will stay with Roseburg. Welcome everybody that happens to be watching online at 541radio.com. We're going to get a timeout here. So we'll go ahead and take a 30-second timeout and come back. This is Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Roseburg basketball tonight brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. Stay with us at halftime. We'll run through your first half recap and get you stats from the first half of tonight's ball game. So stay with us for that. We'll also see if we can get you a score update on the Roseburg girls on the road at Grants Pass tonight. That game going on right now. And they're in the second quarter right now. Grants Pass leading the Roseburg girls 24-8. And it looks like they are heading to halftime in that one. Ray, you've got 5 minutes and 13 seconds before halftime here between the Roseburg and Grants Pass boys. Big matchup for both teams, and a foul on Cade Brandis, who's going to pick up his third in the first half. He was trying to work around a screen, just kind of got blindsided with a screen. Coming into the game will be Ivan Isley. So some foul trouble here early on for Grants Pass. Cade Brandis goes to the bench. Oh, they've only got him down with 2 on the scoreboard. I thought it was his third. I might have mismarked one then. Free throw by Hunter Fullerton on the 1-and-1. He'll hit the first to earn a second. Chance to tie it up here at the line. Substitution, Keegan Cleary will come in, and Micah Mendoza, who just checked into the game, will go back to the bench. I think with Brandis coming out of the game and Bennett out as well, Coach Humphreys decides, let's try and make sure that Micah doesn't pick up a cheap foul and ride with the guys that we've got out there. 2 free throws good for Hunter Fullerton, and Roseburg ties it back up at 16-all with 5:03 to play. Out at the top with it, Poland. Bounce away deep. 3 by Isley is short. Long rebound. Nobody quite got to it quickly, but it is Boston Williams that gets it as Roseburg blocks out. Williams drives right side, back out to Fullerton from the free throw line. The pull-up is short. Underneath, Stedman with the board. The little guy in the middle. Back out Wilder, a 3 from the corner. Too long. Underneath, it's pulled in by McLean. He'll bring it up the floor into the middle for Bruner. Left side, Jesse looking into the middle. Bruner gets it at the elbow. Jab step left, goes to the top and draws it back out. Poland takes it on the hesitation dribble, and it went off of Keegan Cleary. I wasn't sure if maybe Poland tried to get it back and couldn't keep it, but he did not touch it. The official there right in front of it. It'll stay with Grants Pass with 4:18 to play in the first half of this ball game. Poland gets it out at the top. Will try to lob it in underneath. Bruner almost with the alley-oop dunk. Couldn't get it to go. Got his own rebound into the corner. Isley a 3. Well off the mark. And Boston Williams with the rebound. Up the floor. Fullerton driving in. Spin move. Found a wide open Carter Stedman. Makes the extra pass, and Roseburg's back in front. 18-16. Into the front court. Ball tipped away, but a late whistle on Keegan Cleary. A senior into the game for the first time. The defensive stopper. He will pick up his first. And that will put Roseburg over the limit. And to the free throw line will go Grants Pass. Coming in will be Tyler McIntosh for Ivan Isley. It's not a 1-and-1 yet, so they're not quite into the bonus. Just 16 fouls for Roseburg. Crossover at the top. Jesse tries to attack. Got free. Got the defense off of him. Coach Humphrey wanted a foul for the push-off. Didn't get the call. Jesse ties it back up at 18. And a travel on the other side. Grants Pass will get it back as Roseburg turns it back over to the Cavemen. Tied at 18 with 3:37 to go in the first half of tonight's ball game. McIntosh in the backcourt to Jesse. Jesse, the junior, fires it across the timeline. It's into the corner, near side. McLean drives baseline, steps around the defender, and McLean will lay it off the glass for 2. Back in front goes Grants Pass. 20-18, 3:18 to play. Tight first half of tonight's game. Neither team leading by much. Stedman out at the top, yo-yo dribble, goes right side, picks it up at the wing. Out to Williams. Boston will work against McLean. Crossover, got him drifting back. Boston launches the 3. No, underneath. He'll try to strip away the rebound, and he will. Out to Fullerton. Fullerton drives, lost his footing, gets caught underneath, but finds the Stedman. Now it's another 3 by Boston. A second look will go. His second of the night, and Roseburg's back in front, 21-20. 3 threes in the first half for Roseburg. Ball tipped out of bounds, stays with GP. Right now on the floor, Wilder, Williams, Cleary, Stedman, and Fullerton for the Tribe. McLean, Jesse, Poland, Bruner, and McIntosh on the floor for Grants Pass. Around a screen, Bruner at the top, crossover, goes left, gets in the middle, double team, can't get it. Fullerton with the grab off the glass. He'll bring it up the left side of the floor to the top with the right hand. Draws it back out, crossover, puts his head down, and he does extend the forearm for the offensive.
Player control foul.
It's been called tonight, although might be an argument there wasn't one called on the other side moments ago. But it has been getting called, and Fullerton with an obvious one there. Mark Oha into the game. Ivan Isley also into the game. So Oha checks in for Roseburg, Isley in for Grants Pass. Jesse will work against some press in the backcourt, gets it back, will cross the timeline. They try to trap. He'll pass in the middle to no one in particular. Stedman had a tailor-made steal, couldn't keep it. In the middle, off the mark on the shot by Bruner, put back by Jesse, no, and the 2 bigs knock around Mark Oha, and they'll get whistled. You had Jesse and a technical called against Grants Pass. You had Jesse and Bruner that sandwiched Mark Oha for the foul, and then some extra chirping after, and a technical, I believe, called on Gavin McLean. The officials are discussing here. So Roseburg will be getting free throws here, a technical as well as then a 1-and-1 for Mark Oha. So 1:59 to go. Roseburg leading by 1 after the 3 by Boston Williams, and we'll see if they can extend it out here with free throws. Officials are discussing the sequence of the upcoming events while we've got a break in the action. Let you know, Roseburg basketball on the score is brought to you by Flyaway Travel. When you get ready to take that dream trip, contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel. And make sure that you have an agent in your corner in these complicated travel times. Call Flyaway at 672-5701. Well, coaches are smiling. Officials are smiling. So I guess that all works out in some manner. If they are working out what's going to happen here. So the foul went on Bruner on the rebound, fouling Mark Oha. And I think that does put Grants Pass at 10 fouls, which I believe puts Roseburg in the double bonus, is what they're saying, why there's going to be 4 free throws coming up. Or is it a 1-and-1?
Technical foul is on number 3 for the Cavemen.
The technical did go on Gavin McLean. Jace Wilder will be shooting, I believe, the technical free throws here. Wilder hits a free throw.
Shooting the 1-on-1.
Yeah, he's got to be shooting the technical free throws here. And he misses the second. So 1 out of 2 for Wilder. And now Mark Oha will shoot 2 for the foul on Bruner because Grants Pass is at the limit, 10 team fouls. So Oha will get 2 fouls here, and then Roseburg will get the ball back with 1:59 to play. Oha hits the first. Chance to try and tie the largest lead of the game for Roseburg. And he will. Oha hits them both, 24-20. Roseburg in front, matching their largest lead of the night at 4 points. And now we will get Roseburg with the basketball. Keegan Cleary checks out. Trey Finlayson back into the game for the Tribe. Gavin McLean takes a seat on the bench. He's got just the 1 foul with the technical. Minute 56 and counting. Stedman brings the ball across out to the right side for Williams. He goes into the corner, looking underneath the Finlayson. He tries to work his way in against Isley, and they call an offensive as Isley flops. Finlayson will pick up the player control foul, his second in the ballgame.
Player control foul, number 10.
So Grants Pass will have it, trailing by 4, 1:44 to play. Trying to trap on the left corner, McIntosh on the sideline. Not a lot of places to go with it. And a timeout taken by Grants Pass. 30-second timeout. We're going to go and take one as well. This is Roseburg basketball on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Well, it's been a competitive first half so far. 24-20, Roseburg in front with 1:39 to play before halftime. Grants Pass with the basketball out of the timeout. Both teams have used 1 so far in the ballgame. Out to Jesse between the circles. Right side, Isley, who just got the ball back for Grants Pass with the taking the charge. To the left side, pulling a 3, no. Underneath, rebound for Finlayson, his third. Oha will get it. Going to try and race up the floor with the left hand. Mark Oha going coast to coast. Roseburg takes a 6-point lead, 26-20. Toss across the floor. Poland looking in the middle. Back out to Isley. They want to get it to Bruner in the middle. They just can't find a way there. They do find a crease. Bruner stripped from behind. Stedman with the steal. And Roseburg gets the takeaway. Up the floor to Wilder. He lays it in. Roseburg takes their largest lead now at 8. A quick run here, 28-20. Out of the top, Isley to the right side. Poland bounce it baseline. Bruner back out to the top as the Cavemen work it quickly to the left side. A 3, rims out, halfway down, fighting for it underneath. Finlayson with another big board. The senior comes up with his 4th here in the first half. 26 seconds to play. Boston gets it right side. Dribbles to the right corner. He somehow got it away before he traveled. Got it to Finlayson, who gets an easy lay-in. And Roseburg's up by 10. That was a bumbling play there for Boston, but it worked out. 6 seconds to go. Toss across the floor. With it, McIntosh to Isley. Steps into a 3 before the buzzer. Tip up, no. And we go to the halftime break with Roseburg leading Grants Pass 30-20. A quick run at the end of the first half gets the Tribe up by 10. Just 6 points in the quarter for the Cavemen. And that is reminiscent to how the game finished last time when Roseburg was at Grants Pass. And the Roseburg boys held Grants Pass to just 4 points in the fourth quarter. at the break. It is 30-20. And we will have a breakdown of the first half coming up for you after a 2-minute timeout. This is Roseburg boys basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate! Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
At the halftime break, your score from Roseburg High School. It is the home team, the Roseburg Indians, leading the Grants Pass Cavemen 30-20 in tonight's varsity boys basketball matchup. The JV game went to Grants Pass, coming back to win 68-64 in that matchup. This is a big one here tonight. Roseburg trying to keep the hopes of a home playoff game alive and possibly a second-place finish behind South Medford. For Grants Pass, they would like to see maybe a big road win to bump them up in the rankings before Saturday when the rankings freeze. And Grants Pass, right now sitting at 17, is on the bubble. They could maybe move into the top 16 with a win here tonight and get a home playoff game in the first round of the 6A state playoffs. A win tonight for Grants Pass would secure a second-place finish in the league standings for the Cavemen. So obviously a lot on the line for both teams coming up in the second half. Was a very tight game through the first half of this one until the final couple of minutes of the second quarter when Roseburg goes on a run. A foul and then a technical called against Grants Pass, and Roseburg made 3 out of 4 free throws. That put them on a little bit of a run there, and they would add to it the rest of the way. Grants Pass unable to add to their score before halftime, putting up just 6 points in the second quarter, and Roseburg would stretch it to a 10-point lead here at halftime with that little run at the end of the first half. It was 14-11, Grants Pass in front after the end of the first, and here at the halftime break, it is 30-20. In the first half, Grants Pass with no three-pointers made, and they are 0 for 1 at the free throw line. I've got a couple of players, I believe, with 2 fouls in the first half for Grants Pass. And on the other side for Roseburg, 3 three-pointers in the first half, and they went 9 of 12 at the free throw line. They've got Finlayson and Mendoza with 2 fouls in that first half of tonight's ball game. When we come back, we'll take a look at individual scoring from the first half of tonight's ball game. And don't forget to stick around in the postgame show when we will look at all of the numbers and recap the game for you and name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. Mountain Mike's Pizza, the way it ought to be. Stop by to fill up after home games. Or you can come on by to watch the live stream of Roseburg basketball on away games. That's Mountain Mike's Pizza the way it ought to be. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and come back after this on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors at home or on the road at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Here at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium at halftime, Roseburg leading Grants Pass 30-20. Taking a look at scoring from the first half of today's ball game for the Grants Pass Cavemen. Leading scorer with 6 points is Mason Bennett. Those all come in the first quarter. Then you've got 4 points for Peyton Bruner and 4 points for Jaden Jesse, and then 2 points for Gavin McLean, and 2 points for Cade Brandis, and 2 points for Luke Morgan. On the other side for Roseburg, leading scorer in the game with 8 is Hunter Fullerton. He scores 5 in the second quarter. Boston Williams with 6, Micah Mendoza with 5, Mark Oha with 4. 3 points in the game for Jace Wilder, then 2 for Carter Stedman and 2 for Trey Finlayson. You're scoring tonight for Roseburg. Looking at rebounding numbers from the first half, unofficial here, as I don't necessarily do the best at keeping track of rebounds, but I do try, and I get close. Trey Finlayson with 4, and Micah Mendoza with 4 rebounds in the first half of tonight's ball game. We'll be tracking that closely as we go to the second half, as we will have your Colorcraft in the paint rebound leader. The only Benjamin Moore dealer in Douglas County is Colorcraft. So remember, when it's time for you to get in the paint, you can expect perfect matches with Colorcraft and Benjamin Moore. Colorcraft is a paint store, not a paint department. At the break, it is 30-20, Roseburg in front of Grants Pass. Taking a quick look at the Roseburg girls score from Grants Pass at Heater Newman Gymnasium tonight. Second to last regular season game for the Roseburg girls, and they will have their senior night coming up tomorrow night here at home against Sheldon. Right now in the third quarter, the Roseburg girls trailing Grants Pass 38-11. Going on tonight in the Southwest actually there's no other games going on in the Southwest Conference tonight. In fact, not a lot of games going on around the state. Games up in the Portland metro area, all getting snowed out tonight. And obviously Thursday night, not a normal night for the Southwest Conference. So as we look at the schedule, not any other games going on in the Southwest Conference. Back on Tuesday, your usual night for action, Sheldon defeated South Eugene 66-63. Big win there for the Irish. And South Medford beat North Medford in the annual rivalry game, 66-55, your final score in that one. Coming up tomorrow night, Roseburg will be on the road in Eugene to wrap up the regular season at Sheldon. Willamette's at North Medford, and South Eugene is at South Medford. Grants Pass finishing out the regular season tonight, so they will be off tomorrow and be waiting to see where things finish out when the rankings freeze on Saturday at 10 o'clock. Get ready for the second half of tonight's ball game. Portland Trailblazer fans, the Blazers are in action tonight. We were planning to carry that game for you. That was before Roseburg's game against Grants Pass got postponed a couple of times. I'll take a look at a score real quick for you here in just a second. Start the third quarter. Right now, Portland winning 46-45 at Sacramento, missing a lot of starters. That's surprising. Micah Mendoza getting into the game quickly and trying to take over. He goes to the rim, his shot off the mark, rebound down to the Cavemen. They're now moving left to right on your radio dial. Mason Bennett with his 2 fouls trying to get into the game and get back into it. He'll score quickly here in the third quarter as he puts in 2 and makes it an 8-point game, 30-22. Starters on the floor for both teams. We've got an issue with the clock, it looks like. The scoreboard equipment malfunctioning just a bit there. So now they've got to figure out how much time and run off the clock to set it up here. It is 30-22 in the third quarter. Starters on the floor for both teams. Hunter Fullerton, Jace Wilder, Micah Mendoza, Boston Williams, and Carter Stedman for the Indians. Mason Bennett, Cade Brandis, Luke Morgan, Joel Jesse, and Gavin McLean, the 5 starters on the floor for Grants Pass. They are going to put, I believe, 7:20 on the clock. They will get 7:20 up on the clock, and there they go. All right, we've got it squared away. Roseburg with the basketball, looking for their first points of the second half. Jace Wilder stopped at the free throw line, tosses back out to the top to Williams. Williams, right wing, had the ball poked away from him, gets it back and gets it to Stedman. Stedman trying to drive, bounces through the defense to Wilder at the top. Oh, he had Fullerton open in the corner for a minute. They have to send it back out to the top. Bounce to the top of the key. Stedman out to Fullerton, doesn't take a 3 at the left wing. Zone defense again here from Grants Pass. It gave Roseburg troubles in the first half, but I think they had to go away from it after guys got into foul trouble. Stepping into a 3, Boston Williams. That's one way to break a zone. He drains the 3, 33-22, 11-point game, largest lead for Roseburg. Jesse brings it into the front court for the Cavemen. On the near side, Brandis with his foul trouble finds the cutter. Shot blocked by Mendoza. And then last touch by Grants Pass. Mendoza blocked it. It hit McLean as he was laying on the ground out of bounds. So if he's on the ground and that block shot hits off of him, they're going to change it. They're going to change it. I think we got a replay of that here for you. Coach Humphreys pleading his case. It hit the ground first, it looked like. So that ball does stay with Grants Pass. Inbound, a 3 from the right wing, off the mark by Jesse. Stedman racing to get to the rebound. He'll take it all the way. His shot off the mark. Mendoza with the board underneath, and they'll call a jump ball. And the possession arrow favors Grants Pass. Stedman doing a great job to be able to race down that long rebound and even just make something out of that. And Mendoza right underneath, trying to fight for that board, couldn't get it. 6:08 to play here in the third quarter. It's an 11-point game, Roseburg in front. Morgan trying to post up against Wilder, and he just takes it away. Wilder gives it up to Stedman as Roseburg with the steal, trying to put their defensive pressure on Grants Pass, a team that is known for its defense. Stedman with it on the right side. Sends it around the defense to Fullerton. He had some space and had some time, doesn't take the deep 3. Bounces it out to the top to Stedman, back to Fullerton. He's got the very long Luke Morgan there to try and face guard. Into the corner, Williams going to try another 3. His catch and shoot off. Rebound tipped around, but Morgan will keep it tipped out of his hands, and it'll stay with the Cavemen. Carter Stedman knocked it away, then pleading his case to say that ball was out off of Grant's pass, but they didn't get it there. In the backcourt, McLean gets it to Jesse, who will bring it up the floor, running the point, lobs it up to Bennett, looking for the cutter. He'll take it himself instead, through the lane, slicing. He'll hit the bucket and a foul. Mason Bennett now with 10 in the ball game and a chance to make it 11 as he cuts it down to a 9-point game. To the free throw line goes Mason Bennett. Tonight's game brought to you by Roseburg Honda. Buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda, it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda, where they treat you like family because they are family. Mason Bennett hits his first free throw of the night. He's 1 of 2 at the line, makes it an 8-point game. 33-25, pass tipped up. Jesse comes away with the steal. Up the floor to Bennett, and he'll throw down the two-hand jam.
Mason Bennett.
Roseburg up the floor quickly, trying to answer Mendoza's spin. Lost his footing. He'll keep it, though, as Roseburg gets it back into the corner. Mendoza, 3 just off the mark underneath. Williams tipped that ball away, and a late whistle against Boston Williams.
Roseburg foul number 15, Boston Williams.
A foul goes on Boston, who picks up his third. So it's a 33-27 ball game, 6-point game after Roseburg led by as many as 11. Bennett gets it up the floor to Brandis, nearly traveled. Right side, McLean looking underneath, and once again, Wilder just steps in front of Morgan and gets the steal. And now on the sideline, a blocking foul called against Brandis. And that'll be, I believe, the third on Brandis. Timeout taken by Roseburg. 30-second timeout. We're going to go and take it as well. 33-27 your score, 4:43 to go in the third quarter on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
.443 to go in the third quarter. Roseburg leading Grants Pass 33-27, and an important game for both teams' hopes for the postseason. Wilder lobs it into Mendoza as he brings it across the timeline. Roseburg in white, Grants Pass in blue. Wilder's going to hold in the right corner as the defense comes to make him pick up his dribble. We'll give it back to Stedman, and Wilder's going to hold. Roseburg has been a team known to really like to push the tempo. Might they look to try and slow this one way down and force the issue with Grants Pass? Defense coming out well away from the basket. Mendoza dribbling away from pressure. Wilder gets it back. They double team him, finds an open Fullerton. He tries to drive baseline, back to Stedman, and Roseburg will draw it back out and reset. Down to 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Double team comes to try and trap. Mendoza gets it out at the top. He'll drive left side. Wanted to try and find some open space. He'll find instead a wide open Hunter Fullerton underneath. And the defense for Grants Pass really coming out to the top to try and trap. And they left Fullerton wide open underneath. Bennett gets it on the left side, going to attack against Mendoza. Sidesteps around the defense, and his shot rolls out. It's Wilder with the rebound. And Jace Wilder picks up the dribble, pressure in the backcourt. Stedman will get it from him. He'll race into the front court. Up the far side, passes underneath, ball tipped, no. Last touch by Roseburg, out of bounds. It'll be inbound for Grants Pass with 3:23 to go. Substitution in for the Cavemen. You've got Peyton Bruner and Jackson Paulin will both come into the game. Paulin will be wearing the face mask. Mason Bennett with pressure, gets it on the inbound. Jace Wilder pressuring Bruner, nearly poked it away. Brandis brings it up the floor with the right-hand dribble, hands off to Poland. Poland finds an open man on the far side, McLean. Back to Brandis. Looks for the baseline cutter. Poland bounces it underneath. Boston Williams got in to tie up Mason Bennett, and the arrow will give it to Roseburg. Great defense there by Boston Williams to force the takeaway. Boston to Wilder. They'll race it into the front court. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Roseburg leading 35-27. They've led by as many as 11. Stedman brings it back out to the top. Now man-to-man defense here from the Cavemen as Roseburg gets him out of the zone. Stedman back and forth across the timeline, from sideline to sideline. He's not going into the backcourt. Fullerton in the right corner. On the dribble, drives against Brandis. The step back, no. Rebound pulled down by Bruner. He'll bring it up the floor for the Cavemen. On the left side. Looks to attack. We'll give it to Poland. Poland driving left side at the elbow. Hands it off into the corner. Bennett nearly lost it. Picked up the dribble. Passed through the defense. It's taken away by Fullerton. Roseburg with the steal. Hunter racing into the front court. Going to try to attack. Gets to the rim and finishes! Hunter Fullerton having a big night for the senior. He puts it back to a 10-point game. 37-27. 2:03 to go third quarter. Lob up to Bruner. On the sideline. Has to save it back into McLean. McLean on the right side, trying to get the offense going. Calls for Bennett to get it. Mason sends it to the left side. Back out to the top. Poland to the near side for McLean. At the wing, he'll drive. Gets to the baseline. The jumper from 15 feet is good for Gavin McLean. Grants Pass needing that one. Cuts it back to an 8-point game. 37-29. Williams tried to answer on the other side. No. Boston shot off the mark. The pass by Bruner was knocked around, and Grants Pass having trouble to get it out of the backcourt. Up the floor, McLean circles back out. Pass it away. Bruner finds Brandis underneath, and a flush by Mason Bennett. 37-31. Boston Williams into the corner for Stedman. He'll drive. Makes the underhand pass to Wilder. And Roseburg attacking, finding space in the defense. And now tries to poke it away. Mendoza steps on the baseline as he tries to save it back in. 8-point ball game with 1:05 to go in the third quarter. Substitutions. Mark Oha comes in. And so does Trey Finlayson. A couple of seniors for Roseburg. The next dead ball will try and get you a legal ID. In the backcourt, Bruner up the floor to Poland, to the far side to Isley, who was checked in. Bruner between the circles, pass right side, lob in the middle to Bennett. That ball tipped around. It'll stay with Grants Pass. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg basketball on the score.
Morgan in the Cavemen lineup, replacing Mason Bennett. Trey Finlayson into the Indian lineup, replacing Boston Williams.
Boston Williams will get a breather as Asher Friedenberg checks into the game. Out at the top, Bruner driving in with the left hand, too strong underneath. The rebound and a putback. Luke Morgan gets the bucket and will head to the free throw line for the three-point play with 45.8 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Grants Pass has come out of the locker room to compete. They've cut down a 10-point deficit, right now trailing by 6. Looking to make it a 3-point play. Luke Morgan at the line, the righty short, rebound down to Friedenberg. Roseburg almost turns it over in the backcourt. Oha, crossover at the free throw line, finds Mendoza in the corner, the lefty, that three spits back out. It was halfway down. Underneath, Bruner with the rebound. And walking it towards the midcourt stripe, Isley will take his time. Some crossover dribbles at the half-court line, pass it away. Ball tipped away. Here goes Mendoza. One-on-one. He'll lay it in. The finger roll. 41-33, 8-point game, 11 seconds to go. Brandis at the top, goes right side. Stops at the elbow, finds Morgan underneath, who gets 2. And Luke Morgan doing some yeoman's work underneath. 1 second. And no chance at the three-point shot at the horn. After 3 quarters to play, it is 41-35. Roseburg in front by 6. Grants Pass cuts it down, but they've got 1 quarter to make up the deficit. Back after a 60-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be, handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Back for the fourth quarter here from Roseburg High School. Right now, Roseburg leading Grants Pass 41-35. Grants Pass outscores Roseburg 15-11 in that third quarter. In the corner, pulling a head fake on the three. Shot no underneath. Brandis with the rebound and the putback. And Grants Pass will start the scoring here in the fourth quarter. Driving left side, Oha, shot no, rebound tipped out, loose ball, it'll be Oha that comes away with it. He'll launch a three, no. 41-37 your score. Right side, Isley working against Oha. Pass into the middle, Bennett in this game. Mason playing with the two fouls he picked up in the first half. Hasn't picked up one here in the second. They toss it away in the middle for Grants Pass. Roseburg gets it, leading by 4. Handoff by Oha. Mendoza will draw it out. Quiet night by his standards for Mark Oha, for Micah Mendoza, only 7 points. In the middle, pass in the corner, Owen Bentia, a three! Owen Bentia stretches it back to a 7-point game. 6:51. Morgan, toss it to Isley, into the corner for Bennett, working against Finlayson, jab step left, drives baseline, double team, too strong, rebound tipped around, Isley will come up with it. Grants Pass fans wanted a foul on Bennett in that act of shooting. Toss it all the way across the floor, Isley, catch and shoot, three, rattles in, his first points of the night. And it's back to a 4-point game, 6:27. Oha up the right side of the floor, behind the back dribble, crossover to Bentia. Bentia jump pass to the middle, tipped. Finlayson will get it. Looks for the baseline cutter, back out to Bentia. Oha out at the center circle, 6:10 to go. Bounce it to Finlayson, wanted the baseline cutter, hands it back to Mendoza, a three. That one rattles in, first three of the night for Micah Mendoza. 47-40, 5:58. Pass tipped away, Vredenberg saves it back in, and they totally take him down. Intentional foul. Maybe. That is Poland on the foul. He basically tackled Micah Mendoza after the steal by Vredenberg. 5:53. They are not going to call an intentional. They just call it a regular foul. That looked a bit aggressive. It is not a shooting foul. And they're not. Neither team's in the bonus. We've only got 3 team fouls for Roseburg, 2 for Grants Pass. That foul went against Poland for his second. Gavin McLean will check back in just before play gets back underway. He'll come in for Brandis. Tonight's ballgame brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Owen Bentia calls out the play as he holds the ball, hands off to Oha. Pass tipped away by Morgan. He comes away with a steal and a foul. They will not call the continuation. Foul on the floor. Mark Oha picking up the penalty. That'll be the 4th on Roseburg. 2nd on Oha.
Number 1, Mark Oha.
5:42 to go. Inbound from the baseline for the Cavemen. 7-point game. McLean gets it in the left corner, lobs out to the top, and there to make sure it didn't go into the backcourt was Isley. He'll toss near side to Jesse. Jesse looking into the right corner for Bennett. They had him covered. Out to the far side. Lob underneath, intended for Morgan. It's taken away by Mendoza. He'll bring it up the floor. No look into the corner. Bentia long on the three. Rebound down for Bennett. Stop there by Grant's pass. Lob up. Isley looks to attack. Out to Bennett. He'll take a three. That one front iron, no. Skying in from the backside. A foul called on Isley. He went right over the top of Trey Finlayson, and they whistling for his second foul. Third on Grant's pass. Nearing the 5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter, a 7-point ball game, 47-40. Oha around a screen, goes right side, hesitation, gets bumped as he goes in, and that'll be on Morgan, Luke Morgan. I've got it for his first. That'll be the fourth on Grant's pass. And I am way off. That is the third on Luke Morgan. I'm terrible at keeping track of fouls. They don't call it a shooter. Looked like Oha was in the act of trying to go with that scoop lay-in, but they don't give it to him. 4:57. Inbound into the right corner for Finlayson. Out to Mendoza, launches a deep three. It's nothing but the bottom of the net. Another big three for Micah Mendoza. His second of the fourth quarter. And then on the other side, Mason Bennett turns it over as he mishandles the dribble. A 10-point game. Roseburg back in front with a couple of big threes here in the period by Mendoza. 4:43. Still a long way to go, though, in this one. Oha brings it up on the left side. He'll dribble around the opposite side of his screen. They weren't looking for him, and he attacks and finish. Lays it off with a soft touch on the left hand, and Roseburg leading by 12, their largest of the game. Out at the top, behind the back dribble, Isley goes left side, pass into the corner, a shoot, and it is off the mark. Finlayson tips the rebound to himself on the miss. On the far side by McLean. Mendoza crossover. Looking to take over, Euro step. He had a guy all over him. Out to Bentia. He launches the three. No. Finlayson gets the rebound. Another one for him, but it's stripped away. Finlayson was 6 in the game. McLean trying to push it up the floor as we hit the midway point. 4 minutes to play. Launching a three. And McLean, with no one around him, buries that one. Stop the bleeding there for Grant's pass. A 9-point game. 52-43. Timeout by Grant's pass. Let's take a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to, by hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
That three-pointer just before the timeout by Gavin McLean stopped an 11-3 run by Roseburg. Our score 52-43 with 3:55 to play here in the fourth quarter of tonight's Southwest Conference matchup. Mark Oha brings it up as Roseburg leading this one. He looked for the baseline cutter, but it was tipped out by Grant's pass. 3:45 to go. Into the right corner, Friedenberg hands it off to Mendoza. Pressured on that far sideline. Some fancy dribbling out to Friedenberg. A deep three. It's short. And chasing down the rebound is Jaden Jesse. Roseburg giving their starters some good breather here. We'll see when those guys get back into this game. Right now, Roseburg's second unit, or at least a good section of them, have been doing a nice job. The offensive by Gavin McLean. He extended the arm and sent Mark Oha to the floor. That'll be the second on McLean. 3:18 to play. Roseburg trying to salt this one away. Finlayson sets a screen for Oha, gets it to Mendoza out at the top, launches a three. Oh, that one was halfway down. Friedenberg with the offensive board, and then he traveled. That three, I don't know how it didn't stay down. Gravity didn't want to let it. And Friedenberg skying in for that rebound, but couldn't keep his feet planted. 2:58 to go, though. Down under 3 minutes to play. Jesse across the timeline, left side, accelerates, gets to the rim, right through a defender in the offensive. That is back-to-back possessions for Grants Pass with an offensive foul. And frustration starting to set in on the faces of the Cavemen. 2:50 to play. That is the first on Jesse in the ball game. Oha to the right side, hands off to Mendoza. Spin move back to his right, stops in the lane. He's got players all over him. They'll call a jump ball, and it'll be Roseburg basketball on the alternating possession. Roseburg basketball tonight brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Inbound from the baseline for Bentia. Finlayson out to Oha at the top. Working against Jesse, goes left side. Pull up for the jumper from the free throw line. No, underneath. It's Morgan that pulls it in. 2:29 to go. It's a 9-point ball game. Roseburg in front. Ball tipped out of bounds by Owen Bentia into some lucky fans sitting in the front row over there. It's a packed house for the most part tonight here at Roseburg High. A couple of young basketball fans watching from that sideline. 2:25 to play. Hand off to Brandis. Dribbles between the circles. Coming to get it. Bennett. He'll dribble. Right hand through the lane. Got it knocked away at first, but they'll whistle for the foul. And that one will be the 5th for Roseburg in the second half, and the first on Owen Bentia. That'll send Mason Bennett to the free throw line. He is 1 of 2 at the stripe in this one, and he hits the first. Bennett with 13, now 14 in this ball game. His first points of the fourth quarter. Second free throw for the big man is good. Makes it a 7-point game. 2:12 to play. Jace Wilder will check in at the next dead ball for Roseburg. Oha with it out at the top. Hands it off to Mendoza. Man-to-man defense here from Grants Pass. Mendoza trying to work to the right side, squeezes his way along the sideline, and he turns it over. Lost the dribble out of bounds, and Roseburg will sub in Wilder and Stedman. Micah Mendoza will head to the bench for a breather. And Finlayson also went to the bench in that substitution. 1:52 to play in this one, under 2 minutes. Grants Pass trailing Roseburg 52-45. Right side, Bennett looking to take over, drives in, spin move back to his right, sidesteps back to his left, his shot no, underneath, rebound tipped around, and it's last touch by Morgan. Luke Morgan couldn't hang on to it. The honorable mention All-Southwest Conference player couldn't collect the offensive board. Roseburg will get it, and they will walk it into the front court with Stedman. On the right side, hands it off to Oha. Between the leg dribble, trying to work against Jesse. He gets in the middle, got double teamed, shot blocked out of bounds, a whistle. And it is against Grants Pass. They called that on Jaden Jesse. The junior called for a pushing foul. And that's going to send Mark Oha to the free throw line. Oha kills it on the back of the iron, and it falls through. He is 3 for 3 at the line. Micah will come back into the game. So does Boston Williams. Bentia and Vredenberg will both get a round of applause as they head to the bench. That second unit for Roseburg did a lot of good work in their time on the floor. And I cursed him, but a rebound, offensive board by Wilder. He'll go up with the left hand, too strong. I cursed Oha, said he was perfect at the line. He misses the second. He's 3 of 4 now. 53-45, and a timeout taken by Grants Pass in an emphatic manner for head coach Joel Jesse. Grants Pass will have 2 left as we take a 30-second timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met. and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Tonight's Roseburg basketball on the score is brought to you by Dr. Lanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com or call 541-378-6694. Don't forget to stick around in the postgame show when we will name our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. And we'll also take a look at the stats and get you your Colorcraft in the paint rebound leader. 53-48 your score. With 1:13 to go in the fourth quarter. Grants pass with the basketball out of the timeout. Jesse will inbound out to the center circle. Poland to the left side to McLean. Goes around a screen, into the corner, had it tipped away. And Jace Wilder, he tipped it off of Gavin McLean. McLean stands there with a look on his face like, I can't believe that just happened. And he turns it back over to Roseburg, and the Tribe will have it with 1:06 to play. Full court pressure here from Grant's pass. Ooh, a pass through the arms of Poland to Stedman. Up the floor to Mendoza. He'll slow it down as we hit the 60-second mark. Lob a pass to Mendoza into the corner. Boston, head fake, gets it out to Mendoza, and they will foul him with 53.2 seconds to play here in the ballgame. It will put Grant's pass is over the limit. Roseburg's into the bonus. So it'll be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Micah Mendoza. Mendoza 3 for 4 at the line in this one tonight. He will have an opportunity to add to his 13 points that he's got in this one. His first shot will be good. 9-point ball game. Second free throw coming up. Also good. Mendoza, a 70% free throw shooter, hits them both. 10-point ball game. Roseburg's led by as many as 12. Pass up the floor. Confusion for Grant's pass. Isley and Poland both in the area, and neither was sure who was getting the ball as it's thrown out of bounds. A Grant's pass with a turnover could be costly. 47.2 seconds to play. 55-45, a 10-point game. And they've got to wipe up some moisture on the floor here real quick before we get back to action. This is the final game of the regular season for Grants Pass. After this, it's nothing but sitting around waiting to find out where they finish in the OSAA RPI rankings and what their first-round playoff matchup will be. They should be pretty much a lock to get into the postseason. Ball tipped away from Boston Williams, and now a reach-in foul on Peyton Bruner. If Roseburg wins here tonight, Grants Pass could finish anywhere, based on tiebreakers, Grants Pass could finish anywhere from second to fourth in the conference. There could be a four-way tie for second place at 6-6 in the Southwest Conference if things worked out that way here in the final two games of the regular season for Roseburg and the rest of the conference. As Boston Williams goes to the line, he's shooting a 1-and-1. He rolls through the first. Substitution, Hunter Fullerton back into the game. He'll check in for Carter Stedman. So with a loss tonight with 41.1 seconds to go, it's not a guarantee, but it's looking that way. Grants Pass could finish anywhere from second in the conference to fourth based on the tiebreakers, which I'm sure there are plenty, and I don't know them all. Boston Williams hits the second. 57-45, Roseburg up by 12, matching their largest lead of the game. A three from the left side, long. Fullerton with a rebound underneath. And then they foul to send him to the line on the other side with 29.7 to go. And on senior night, Roseburg looks like they'll defend their home court and pick up a huge win to try and help boost them to a first-round home playoff matchup. It'll be Hunter Fullerton at the line, where he is 3 of 4 tonight. Fullerton gets his first points of the fourth quarter. He's got 13 in the ball game as he takes Roseburg to 58-45. Their largest lead of the game now at 13. Boston Williams, the senior, will get a round of applause as he heads to the bench. Mark Oha will take over on the floor. Second free throw for Fullerton. Too long. Keegan Cleary has also come into the game for Roseburg. Up the floor comes Brunner into the lane. With the left hand, it's short. Wilder grabs the rebound. 20 seconds to go. Roseburg playing a little keep away. And Oha splits the defense, races into the front court, lays one up. He gets hit as he goes to the rim, and he will head to the free throw line for 2. And Roseburg a chance to really put this one away with 12.2 seconds remaining.
The line to shoot 2, Mark Oha.
Oha, a nice night for the senior. Will hit the free throw. Mark Oha with 4 points in the period. He's up to 8 total in the game. As Jace Wilder gets a round of applause, the senior heads to the bench. They bring in Trey Finlayson. Second free throw doesn't want to fall for Oha. 10 seconds to go, and this one's all done but the final horn. Poland across the floor, taken away by Finlayson. Up the floor, Trey Finlayson, the senior, lays it in. And that will do it as Roseburg finishes it off with a steal and a finish by Trey Finlayson. Roseburg will finish this one off with a 61-45 victory and a huge win at home against the Grants Pass Cavemen. That one will mean a sweep of the Cavemen this season for Roseburg, and they will move into second place in the Southwest Conference standings. What a ball game we had here tonight as Roseburg gets the 61-45 victory over Grants Pass. And they set themselves up in a position to try and secure second place in the conference and move into a top 16 ranking for a spot in the first round of the playoffs here at Robertson Memorial Gymnasium. Final tonight here from Roseburg High. It's Roseburg 61, Grants Pass 45. An exciting one tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. Your postgame show is coming up when we return after this 2-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start?
Here, in the classroom.
On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate!
Mountain Mike's. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with a news review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.com.
Welcome you back here to a happy Roseburg High School tonight as the Roseburg boys basketball team picks up a very important win on their hopes of trying to secure a home playoff game. They pick up the victory tonight, 61-45 against Grants Pass. And a big one here, an emotional win, and they get the sweep against the Cavemen this season. A team that's a scrappy team, plays tough defense, and is a hard team to be able to do a lot against. Roseburg was able to game plan this one to pick up some momentum as this game wore on. It was a 10-point game at halftime, but Grants Pass managed to cut it down to 41-37. It was a 4-point game near the start of the fourth quarter after a quick run by Grants Pass. But Roseburg would finish on a 20-8 run in the fourth quarter. After Grants Pass cut it to a 4-point game, Roseburg finishes 20-8 in favor of the Tribe. Roseburg will improve to 16-7 on the season, 6-5 in conference play. Grants Pass will finish out the regular season at 15-9, and they will go to 6-6 in Southwest Conference play. So Grants Pass is done on the season for before the playoffs. They will be 6-6. And then Roseburg now 6-5. Let's just map this out here. If Roseburg were to lose to Sheldon tomorrow, then Roseburg and Sheldon would both finish at 6-6. And if North Medford wins at home against Willamette, they would be 6-6. So you would have 4 teams tied at 6-6 if Sheldon wins and North Medford wins tomorrow. And then we will look to head coach Jordan Humphreys to figure out what that means for the postseason. At that point, yes, where you finish in your standings in the conference is kind of fun, but at that point it will all come down to your RPI and where you're ranked to whether or not you are heading on the road or heading at home and who you're matching up against in the playoff bracket. So that's going to be the big one to watch tonight to see where Roseburg goes in the OSA RPI rankings after a win at home against a team ranked ahead of them. Grants Pass came in at number 17. Roseburg was at number 18. So you would hope at least you flip positions in that one, which inches Roseburg closer to trying to get a home playoff game coming up next week. Next game will be at Sheldon coming up tomorrow for the Roseburg boys. We're hoping that head coach Jordan Humphreys will make his way up here for a post-game conversation with us. And he is down there. I see him down there talking, so hopefully he said he would. So I'm going to keep him to that. Hopefully he'll remember that, and we'll be ready for that when he comes up here. Let's take a look at scoring here tonight, unofficially, here this evening. As Miss Angela, would you go grab that varsity? Tom Nelson is looking at that scorebook. Would you mind grabbing that, and I can snap some photos, and we can see what they had down for their scores for Grants Pass. I'm missing 2 points for Grants Pass in this one here tonight. I have your scorers right now. Leading scorer for the Cavemen with 15 points, Mason Bennett. Only player in double figures for Grants Pass. 7 points for Gavin McLean. Then you had 6 points for Luke Morgan, 4 points for Jaden Jesse, 4 points for Peyton Bruner, 3 points for Ivan Isley. And that's what I had for your scores here tonight. Let's double check here. They didn't do totals for me, dang it. Guess we'll have to just do that ourselves here in the in this one. Let's start with Mason Bennett because I got a feeling he may be the guy. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, they got him down at 15. 7 for McLean. So in the fourth quarter, Brandis with a 2. Yeah, that's right. 3 and a 3. 2 points there. Well, maybe I'm just doing my math wrong. That could also be a possibility. Again, unofficial stats. We'll have a game recap story posted at 541radio.com. You can check it out there as well. But if anything, it is close to accurate for the score here tonight. On the other side, my numbers add up, so that's always good. Leading the way for Roseburg with 15 points is Micah Mendoza, scores 8 in the final quarter to get to 15. Well below his average of 20.7, but not bad. Then you've got Hunter Fullerton with 13 in double figures. 8 points for Mark Oha off the bench, the senior, a nice night tonight. 5 points for Jace Wilder. Boston Williams, had 11 tonight. I missed him there. 3 points for Owen Bentia, 4 for Trey Finlayson, the senior, and 2 for Carter Stedman. A team effort tonight here by Roseburg as they pick up the win against Grants Pass. Joining us here in the postgame show will be head coach of the Roseburg boys, Jordan Humphreys, as Roseburg picks up a 61-45 victory tonight on top of Grants Pass. And appreciate, Coach. You can hear me there, Coach?
Yep, I got you.
All right. Well, congratulations first on the win on senior night. How big is it for the guys, for the team, the morale, to just get a win on senior night? That's always a great kind of benchmark and shining moment of a season to be able to get that one.
Yeah, definitely a win on senior night when you never know how emotional guys are going to be, and the atmosphere and all the sadness from the parents and from them as well, obviously. Yeah. But it's sometimes tough to manage those emotions, and our guys managed them well. They were able to put them aside and take care of business.
We talked about Grants Pass. They're a defensive team. They really do well at holding teams down, giving up only 45.6 points a game. Seemed like early on their zone was really giving you guys some issues, but you guys I felt like tonight, the team and you, the coaches, you guys did really well of kind of making adjustments as this game went on. How did you feel about the way this game played out against their defense?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously we had some plans against that zone early on, and we didn't execute it very well. We hit some big shots, which kind of kept us in it. But then in the second half, you saw when they went to that zone, our guys did a great job of being patient, worked the ball around for maybe 35, 40 seconds, almost a minute. Next year we won't be able to do that. But we were patient enough, and we got Hunter wide open under the basket for an uncontested lane. I think we did it the next possession again, and they had to come out of that zone. Just because there's no shot clock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, next year's going to be a different story when they add the shot clock in there. I look at this one, and obviously guys got theirs. Micah in double figures, Boston and Hunter in double figures, but it's been a lot of Micah lately. Tonight, a much more team-rounded game, a whole team win, it felt like this evening. And I was really impressed and surprised in a game that was tight. It was a 4-point game near the start of the fourth quarter, and you had your starters, many of them on the bench for extended minutes in that fourth quarter. That, to me, showed a lot of trust in those other guys that maybe don't play a ton of minutes all the time, but you had them out there in big crunch time moments, and they really came through for you tonight.
Yeah, definitely, and just the way they were playing. We talk about it a lot. Hey, you're going to earn your minutes when you're out there, and Trey was rebounding the ball better than anybody else, and that was a big thing against this team. We got a rebound, and I know in the first half I think he had 4, and so I couldn't take him off the floor, and we need to get rebounds and we need to block out, and Asher and Owen were doing a great job fronting the post, which we talked about, and then we had great backside help with Mug. He almost got a charge down there. He got a couple steals, and when they're doing what we're asking, then they're going to keep earning those minutes, and they did that, and I've told them all along I trust him out there. We just got to, and we got big minutes out of him tonight.
Yeah. Tonight, obviously a big emotional win, a nice one. You got a lot of anticipation for it with the delays a couple of days. Now you guys get this interesting scenario. You haven't seen this since probably before the calendar flipped to January. You guys play on back-to-back days. Tomorrow you finish out the regular season with what is yet another important game at Sheldon. It's an emotional night, as I said, with it being senior night. How do you get the guys to celebrate this but then be able to focus in for tomorrow?
One of the things that we took away from the both Bend trips that we played in was playing back-to-back, and I think in both games we rolled back and played pretty well. And in the tournament over there, obviously we played 3 games and won 3 in a row. And I think guys understand what's on the line. It's almost maybe better to play back-to-back at this point. You don't have to go back and evaluate, and it's more about what we do and less about what Sheldon does, and just making sure we focus on us and play our style of basketball.
It's kind of almost gotten to a point where it's almost we mentioned before the game playoff type atmosphere, but it's almost you can't lose now at this point. I mean, playoffs, you can't lose. Your season's done at this point. Obviously, you can continue on if things don't go your way tomorrow, but you guys can start getting into that mentality with games day in and day out and a lot of importance riding on the line. Coach, a great win tonight for you guys, and enjoy it for a couple of hours, and then we look forward to making the trek up with you to Eugene coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, Sheldon, should be fun.
Yeah, should be a good one. All right, Coach Jordan Humphreys joining us here in the postgame show. Appreciate him coming up here and spending some time with us here in the final couple of moments. We will go ahead and wrap it up here with our postgame awards as we finish this one out. The Roseburg boys getting a 61-45 win on top of Grants Pass, and now they will get ready for Sheldon coming up tomorrow. Our Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game for the Roseburg boys. Tonight I'm going to give it to Hunter Fullerton. Had a huge night as your leading scorer throughout much of this one. Played some really spirited basketball tonight. As mentioned, it was a team effort this evening. I really felt like a lot of guys stepped up in really big ways, but I thought Hunter really carried. While Roseburg was getting their feet underneath them, Hunter really helped carry it and keep them in this one with his 13 points here this evening. And that is your Mountain Mike's Pizza player of the game. Now it's time for your In the Paint Colorcraft rebound leader. Tonight it is Trey Finlayson, as mentioned by head coach Jordan Humphreys. He'll be receiving a $10 gift certificate to Java Run. Roseburg wins 61-45. The Tribe improved to 6-5 in conference play, 16-7 overall. And for Grants Pass, they go to 15-9 to finish out the regular season. They are now 6-6 in conference play, and we'll wait for the playoffs to begin next week. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow night when Roseburg travels to Sheldon for the regular season finale. Want to say thanks to the Grants Pass Cavemen for making the trek up here for a very enjoyable atmosphere here tonight. It was spirited and fun, and that's always great. Want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bullen, Head Coach Jordan Humphreys. We're not to spring yet. And to the entire Roseburg basketball program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Abby Knight for the radio production back in the studio, and thanks to the help from Angela Kieran on site tonight with the video production. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast, because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll talk to you tomorrow night with pregame starting at 6:30 as Roseburg visits Sheldon to finish out the regular season. You can catch the action streaming live online at 541radio.com and right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.